I'm going to show you 3 ways that your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you. So let's get started right now. I'm Brandy Joy, and I teach Earth Angels like yourself how to tap into the spirit side and how to awaken to your highest potential. Let me know down in the comments below if you believe that your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you, but you're feeling a little blocked by the message. You're just not getting it. And make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I have a tip that will amp up your antenna so that you can really get the message loud and clear. The easiest way for your guides to contact you is through your dreams. Dream work is a great way to get in touch with your guides. It's how shamans do it. So if you keep a dream journal, this is the best way to do it. Keep your dream journal by you in your bed or next to your bed when you sleep at night. And you can actually talk with your guides before you go to sleep. And you could say, okay, I would ask my guides to come into my dreams and give me a message about whatever. So you can ask them to actually come in because they will be contacting you through your dreams. It's just you probably haven't been listening. So you can keep a dream journal, and in the dream journal you can write down your question, or you can even just write down like what you saw or heard, and maybe you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you write it down, and then the next day you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that, but here it is because I wrote it down when I woke up in the middle of the night. Because a lot of times your messages will come through and then you'll just like wake up and then you'll go back to sleep. So make sure you have a journal next to you to write it down, because your guides will come through usually as people in your dream where they'll say something to you. They have like a message about something, or they might give you a gift. Like my guides gave me a gift back in, it must have been around 2001-ish. I remember I was having very vivid dreams with my guides, and they gave me a ring. And this ring was a sun and a moon, and that's the symbol for the channel and the psychic. And I didn't know that at the time. I looked into it for many years before I found out what it was, but they gave me this ring and I didn't know who they were. I was like, who are these people giving me a ring, a sun and a moon? And I put it on in the dream and everything. It was a gift. And that's what they'll do, is they'll give you a gift that's symbolic of something you need to know or understand about yourself, or they'll like have you see a number in the dream, and that can be your message. So numbers are very significant. In fact, if you buy something in a dream or something has a number attached to it, right? Maybe there's a price on it or a gift with a number on it or something like that, that's very significant of a message, because everything is mathematical in the universe. And so if you understand numerology, just the basics, then you'll understand how, what kind of message they're giving you, right? So your guides will communicate with you in different ways. But usually it's more directly, and it's usually it's like a person in the dream. And it can be different people in your dream. It could be people that you know in your real life, or they can just come through as these random people that you're like, who is this? Then they're so significant to me for some reason, right? So yeah, dream work is the best way to go, easiest way to go, and that's usually how they communicate with you. Have you ever had a question or something was going on in your life and you really wanted to understand it more or to get the answer, and then all of a sudden, like somebody just randomly comes into your life and says something that gives you the answer? Or, maybe it's your best friend and they just all of a sudden say, hey, I was watching this video today and blah, 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 and then you get the answer, right? So your guides will get you messages through other people sometimes. Sometimes they'll just make you feel like, they'll kind of guide you into watching something or going to this certain person on a certain day. And so your guides, they kind of try to subtly pull you in directions, and they'll speak through other people sometimes in a way. They'll give other people these intuitions that will then help you. So that's the second way that guides will try to communicate with you, is through other people. And it's interesting when you see it happen. And if you've ever seen that happen in your life, or maybe in somebody else's life and you have an example, I would love to hear about it. I love those kind of stories. So comment below if you've ever had that happen to you, where your guide spoke to you through someone else. In fact, sometimes it could even be like an ESP thing, where you are hearing somebody say something to you in a way and you're just like, wait a minute, what is that? Why are they like speaking to me, and you can hear them. And then all of a sudden they'll say it and you'll be like, oh my God, So that's when your guides are trying to speak to you, and sometimes they'll speak through another person because maybe it's easier for them to speak through them in some way. And the third way that your guides will try to contact you or communicate with you is through your own chakras. It's a great way to communicate. In fact, each of your chakras has a different sense to it, a different psychic sense. So for instance, your lower chakra, the second chakra, is your clairsentience. So that's like your feeling, right? So your guides will try to speak to you through second chakra by giving you certain feelings and vibrations, okay? And then you'll have a certain feeling and you'll just like, whoa, something doesn't feel right here, or something feels really right, and that's your clairsentience. Another way they'll try to contact you is through clairaudience. And clairaudience comes through the heart chakra. A lot of people think it comes through the head chakras, but it actually comes through the heart chakra. And so with clairaudience, that is how you get messages. It's kind of like, it's not like voices in your head, but it's like you're thinking to yourself, but you're not really thinking. It's like all of a sudden a thought will come in, and that's coming from your guides through your heart chakra. And that's called clairaudience. It's where all of a sudden you get a message and you're like, where did that come from? Right? Well, that's your guides trying to speak to you through your heart chakra. And the other one is a clairvoyance. And clairvoyance is actually through like your third eye, right? And your third eye is visions and dreams and things like that. So if you meditate a lot, then they'll speak to you through clairvoyance, where they'll give you a flash of like a picture, and you could see somebody. Like for instance, when someone was leaving the town here, I remember my mom's very clairvoyant. She was like, oh, I see him like walking away with a backpack on, right, from the city. And sure enough, he ended up leaving town. So clairvoyance is where you just see an image or a visual, and they'll speak to you that way. They'll speak to you with visuals. They give you visuals. In fact, when I've done some mediumship with those that have passed on to the other side, they'll speak to me sometimes through clairvoyance. They'll put images in my head when they're communicating with me. Like I'll ask them, okay, so give me some evidence for this person I'm speaking to that this is really you. And then they'll show me like, certain items that were very personal between the two of them, and I can see that, and that's because they're speaking to me with clairvoyance through my third eye. And the final one that they can speak to you through is claircognizance. However, guides typically speak to you through clairaudience and clairvoyance, the heart and the third eye. However, they can speak to you through claircognizance, and claircognizance is crown chakra. That's up there at the top. And so they'll speak to you by just giving you this knowing feeling, right? And that's just the knowing. Have you ever had a knowing like, oh, I just know that this is going to happen, or I just know that this is right or wrong? And that knowing is your crown chakra, and that's more of a universal energy usually, but your guides can get to you that way. They can actually give you some energy through that chakra in order to communicate with you. So the chakra system is a primary way that your guides will speak to you. So getting in touch with those will really help you to get messages more clearly. If you like this video, please hit the like button below and share it with your friends. And feel free to subscribe. And of course, hit the bell to get the notifications when we go live and post a video every week. So thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.